Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we are remembering the late artist Carlos Pacheco in this X-Universe, X-Event crossover book from 1995. Sadly, we lost Carlos Pacheco recently. The comic book industry has suffered a lot of losses of great talent, and this one is sad for sure. As you can see from this beautiful cover, I've always loved his art. I think he's great. Such a great classic superhero comic book artist. So we're going to look at this, maybe one of his lesser known books. I came across it in my collection and thought it would be a good time to look at it. So that's what we're looking at today. Anyway, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button. And let's get right into it, guys. Okay, so this is the 90s, in case you couldn't tell. It's got a cardstock gold like cover, embossed, and it's actually really pretty. You know, there was a lot of gimmick covers. I can live with this gold. You know, it's not obscuring the art in any way, and I don't even remember. Okay, so after Xavier, The Age of Apocalypse, another X event. The 90s was all about crossovers and events and, you know, that kind of thing. The X-Men, I feel, were always doing different, like, alternate realities and different things like that. And so we have this one, illustrated by Carlos Pacheco. I love this cover. It looks so cool. Clearly, that's some sort of version of Doom and the Hulk and Apocalypse there. Carlos Pacheco, inked by Cam Smith. Great inker. I love Cam Smith's inks. You know, I feel like Carlos Pacheco's art had a little bit of an evolution, especially the way I experienced it. So it's always interesting and fun to see an artist grow and evolve. But he just was like so solid to begin with. Like, I really love his art. I feel like he was in the same kind of group as some other artists who came in around his time, like Salvador Larroca and Oscar Jimenez. I love their style, like very classic superhero. Like you can see, like definitely, like, you know, the John Byrne and George Perez kind of classic superhero influences, perhaps. So this is based on a story by Scott Lobdell. Stanley Presents The Age of Apocalypse, X-Universe Last Stand. So there was like several miniseries, I believe, and this is the first issue of X-Universe. And of course, Carlos Pacheco was drawing it, so I'm getting it. I loved his art on Uncanny X-Men. I think he did Fantastic Four, Avengers Forever. I feel like he started out being inked a lot by Art T-Bear, which gave it a specific look. And then Jesus Marino became like his go-to inker, and I thought they were a beautiful combination. I guess we lost Carlos Pacheco recently to a battle with ALS, which is the Lou Gehrig's disease, or the Ice Bucket Challenge, in case you need that point of reference, the reason everyone was filming themselves dumping bucket of ice over their head to raise awareness for this disease. And it's a horrible, like, debilitating, like, disease that attacks, like, your muscles or something like that. But it's awful, and especially sad to think of an artist, like, just losing their ability to something like that. Anyway, we're here to celebrate his beautiful art. So it's based on a story by Scott Lobdell, Terry Kavanagh script, Carlos Pacheco penciler, Cam Smith inker, Kevin Summers colorist, Electric Crayon color separations, Richard Starkings and Comic Craft lettering, Marie Javins editor, interesting, huh, since she's like the head of DC now, and Bob Harris, editor-in-chief. Were they like, the way you handled X-Men Age of Apocalypse crossover, like, you can totally do that at DC. Her name is Gwen Stacy. Oh my gosh, I've been staring at her this whole time. See, this is like, you know, obviously alternate universe kind of thing going on. And this is before Spider-Gwen. So this must have been very foreboding and taboo to bring Gwen Stacy back. You know, I feel like it was one of those most, like, poignant storylines, the death of Gwen Stacy. And they've completely bastardized it and ruined it by bringing her back to life. Just like Phoenix with that revolving door on death that comic books have. It's a little whatever. It just takes away from the gravitas. But this is kind of an impactful... see, he's a great storyteller too. You know, when I talk about him being a great comic book artist, of course, it's very aesthetically pleasing. But he also just like when you're a comic book artist, you have to know how to draw everything, and you know how to be able to tell a clear story within the confines of, you know, the format. And clearly, I mean, you know, another thing is you should be able to tell what's going on in the story without reading the dialogue or the captions. And clearly, it's pretty easy to see what's going on here. And just such great storytelling. I love the use of these like vertical panels and then just opening it up to this big explosion here. And look at this slick paper. I have to say the 90s sort of did elevate comics artistically on certain levels. I mean, you have the Image Renaissance, of course, like the dream team of artists who formed Image, who were working at Marvel and just like gave this great art renaissance. But at the meantime, you know, we're sort of like doing better printing and, you know, upping the game with computer coloring and stuff and really focusing. You know, it's funny because as you know, watching my channel, if you watch my channel, The Marauders, that's cool. Wakanda, how timely, right? But, you know, like, it's all about the art for me in a lot of ways. And it's kind of funny that, I don't know, you know, the 90s was when the comics imploded, but it's when they should have thrived and exploded. You know, it was the perfect opportunity to show the world what they were made of, you know, no longer being printed on tissue paper. You know, you get to see like this amazing, beautiful art. I mean, people take comic book art so for granted. I mean, I'm sure that, you know, the common person would just flip through this and not think about the time and effort and hours that it took and the care, just the thoughtfulness that goes into creating this. This feels like a Carlos Pacheco kind of trope or a hallmark right there, that kind of like mouth with the silhouette around it. See, I always feel, and this I feel is pretty early in his career, so, you know, you seeing someone's later work, it's like you see kind of what was already always there and just something that's kind of ingrained in their style. Like, that's a very classic Carlos Pacheco face. I mean, I think that, you know, he's definitely already developed a solid style at this point. I love this panel here. I would love to see this in black and white. As non-offensive as the coloring is, I know that's not really a compliment, but I'm kind of always on the fence about coloring. I think sometimes, especially in the 90s, it could be dicey. And this actually looks pretty good. However, I do want to see, like, because this is such a great use of spotting the blacks and, like, negative space here. So I just kind of would love to see that in all its glory. Perhaps there's, I mean, you know, to commemorate his career and legacy, I would love to see, like, IDW do, like, a Carlos Pacheco Marvel book and just showcase. He did so much beautiful, great work at Marvel. You know, like Avengers Forever really stands out. Obviously, I mean, I think that was probably one of his, you know, most highly recognizable works, I would imagine. But, you know, I think he did like a lot of stuff with Excalibur and just like really loved his art so much. I mean, what a beautiful double page spread that is right there. See, this is what I'm saying about like a well-rounded artist who can just kind of draw anything. And this is so epic in scope and so cinematic. And so, I mean, you've got the devastation of the city, the invasion of this armada up here, the broken streets, the, you know, fleeing people, the broken Big Ben clock here. Like, this is cool AF, guys. Beautiful art. Kind of makes you want to run out and buy this whole series, doesn't it? I'm sure I have it all spread out somewhere. I don't know if I'll bring you the rest or not, but we're enjoying this issue for right now. I will tell you that much. I know I am. That is so cool. I love it. Once again, totally dying to see the black and white art. That is so great. I mean, it's no wonder why, you know, he was so popular. And I don't know, like, was he quite the superstar? I mean, I feel like he was pretty beloved and a lot of people knew his work. I don't know, but, you know, he definitely deserves every accolade. I've always loved and followed his art since I discovered it around this time. This art is just so good, so killer, really. Great perspective, and once again, dying to see the black and whites, people. because that looks freaking amazing. I love, see, this is another thing that I talk about often, like one of the great tests of a good comic book artist is their ability to draw explosions. And let me tell you, this panel does not disappoint at all. That looks so cool. Gwen, where are you? Are you spidering out? Oh my God, look how cool that is. Sweet Aunt Petunia, for real. Sometimes, bless you, Terry Kavanaugh, the dialogue just nails it. And you did it right there. That's so good. Although I don't know if somebody, doing one of the things, battle cries. Wait, some kind of thing. Oh, I see what you did there. Is that Scott Lobdell humor? Although Terry Kavanaugh scripted it, right? So, I don't know. Sweet Aunt Petunia, some kind of thing. I'm dwelling on that way too much, aren't I? But look at that gorgeous, classic Hulk look by Carlos Pacheco. Total homage to the original Kirby Hulk. I love that. Look at the little cracked fingernails. Hulk, I mean, as if we needed another reason to know why Hulk was so cool, but there it is. There it is, people. Oh, and a gift that keeps giving. I love a good silhouette panel, especially a reverse negative silhouette panel. I mean, almost Frank Miller Sin City vibes right there, if you didn't know any better. Loving the variety of sort of, artistry happening. The Hulk just standing there taking bullets. I mean, how cool is that? Ew, and this coloring on the smoke down here. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying about how sometimes the coloring is a little dodgy. Not a big fan of that. Once again, I need black and white. Who knew this was one of the best drawn comic books out there? It looks so cool. Even this panel is amazing. I love the way he drew hands too. Just sort of I don't know, you could every digit in the digits. Every bone in the finger. I mean, hands are hard to draw, so you gotta respect an artist who can draw hands that good. Believable art. Another cool silhouette. See, here's the thing with silhouettes. Sometimes they might seem a little lazy, but they have to be placed well. It's all about the overall layout and look and composition of the whole page, not just the single panel. Oh, who doesn't love a good crucifixion ending? And then John Constantine just dropping into the Marvel Universe for no reason. Well, I'll take it. Or is it Pete Wisdom? Was he is he the John Constantine of the... Oh, see, now I'm getting confused. It's my Excalibur bleeding over. Is this Exo Manowar? What's happening there? Is that what's underneath? I mean, who knew? Anyway, I love it. Very cool art. I was malfunctioning there. See, this looks like Ken Stacy. Look how beautiful that art is. I mean, Ken Stacy doing the accent. That has to be Ken Stacy. Nobody would just copy that style like that. Anyway, super cool issue. X Universe from Age of Apocalypse, 1995. Beautiful work. Such a tragic loss. Rest in peace, Carlos Pacheco. You will forever be missed. Thank you for all your beautiful art. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I will bring you more soon.